so I apologize. So one thing that we've been talking about the last couple weeks with Cardone, and especially me the last couple days, right, is what our biggest opportunity is as a store, right? We've improved our close rate, we've improved average ticket, right? We've improved our overall presentation, right? We've proven that by close rate going up and we're closing more customers, right? So Ree, what's the single biggest opportunity we have now? Follow-up, right? And prospecting. Our biggest opportunity as salespeople, Cardone talks about how it's the biggest miss in the sales industry is our lack of follow-up and being able to prospect, okay? So we've been running this UpBoard now for about a month, and we're just simply kind of going through the motion right now. Would you guys all agree? Yes? All right, going through the motion. So we're adding people on there when we get our sales, or at least most of us are, so thank you for inputting that data, because you're going to be really far ahead when it comes to this next step, which is great. If you haven't been putting in the data, well, we have a report that'll show that you haven't, right? But we need to start inputting those sales when you have the opportunity to, whether it's at the end of the day, right after the sale, the next morning when you come in, but these sales need to get logged into the computer. It will make you more money. But the most important part of this program is for us to put in leads, right? To generate business. Yesterday I asked the question, can I go to Ree right now and ask her, hey Ree, can you call 10 potential clients of yours and create some business where there is no business right now, right? Nobody's walking through the door. Can you create your own traffic? And the answer is no, right? For the majority of the store right now, that answer is no, right? So this program will help us change that news, right? So that we can make prospecting easier, right? We can create follow-up a lot easier, and it's all automated for you. And Dave, are you there?
I'm here.
So Dave is with Trax, and he's going to explain to us how much easier that is with his program as long as we are inputting accurate information. And then obviously any questions that you have about the system still that we haven't had a chance to ask, you can ask the man behind the program right now, because he is actively listening. All right, Dave?
Hello. Wonderful.
All right. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Dave with Trax, and he's going to explain, again, go over the basic parts of what we've already been doing, and then what the next step is, and then some pretty cool incentives for you guys to keep this program going so that we can make it work for us. Cool? All right, Dave, it's all yours.
Okay, well, fantastic. Well, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here with you. I'd like to start off by just telling you a little bit about myself and how I started this whole thing. I own the company, and 22 years ago, I actually owned a chain of furniture stores in Houston, and I was trying to figure out how to help my salespeople follow up with unsold customers and how to kind of keep track of the activity throughout the day. And I came up with this concept, and it took my breath away, to be honest with you. It was an epiphany. And since then, we've got several thousand clients that we work with around the world, and just delighted to be working with you. You've had my traffic counter for years, so this is a lot of fun. But, you know, I know the furniture business pretty well. I used to actually manufacture leather furniture long ago. And anyway, so the whole purpose of the system is to help you follow up with customers and improve prospecting and automate the things that you're doing throughout the day. So I think everyone here has a good solid understanding of how to use the UpBoard, how to log in, how to capture some basic information. If you don't mind, I'm going to put Chris into the system here. When a customer comes in, you just move your name to the floor, and there are three options really. If you've got a customer that doesn't give you any information at all, you just answer the basic questions. What type of advertising brought them in the product? How far did you get in the selling process? If you didn't get the zip code, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this just to show you how fast it is. If you didn't get the zip code, you put in 5 zeros, and you're done. Of course, if you put in 5 zeros all the time, you know, Hector's going to have a coaching session with you. But and that's really it. You're now all an expert on the Trax UpBoard and how it works. If a customer says, I love you guys, but I just can't buy today, the one thing that's not happening is the customer details. So if you're really busy, you know, you just kind of come in here and put in the customer's. And I always like to make sure that when you put in a customer's information, you don't use all lowercase, because you're going to be sending them, I don't know why it's doing that. Let's see here. letters and emails, and we have texting service so that you can really do a great job very easily in following up with anyone that you're dealing with. So if you're really busy, you come in and you answer these basic questions here. You've got the customer's name, you put in their zip code, and you're done. You hit save, and you can go back later on to your salesperson DB module. Show me, everybody raise their hand that knows what the salesperson DB module is. Give me a count. Anybody?
I think that the terms that you're using, they're not familiar with. So this is that second screen where you can go and look at your individual opportunities for the day. How many of you guys know that screen?
Yep.
Okay, it's about 50-50 right now, Dave.
All right, fantastic. But if you've got a little bit of time, if there aren't that many customers in the store, and you want to go ahead and capture this customer's information, you go to customer details from the UpBoard. Now, if you have people waiting behind you, don't do this. You do everything I'm showing you here on your personal screen, and everyone has a personal screen that you're going to be able to access from another PC. You can even access it from a tablet or a smartphone. But if you've got time, I think it's just as fast to do it through here. So you put in a basic customer's information. You just, whatever that is, I'm going to fix that. I misspelled that, excuse me. You put in your phone number, and whatever information you have in here. Now the whole purpose of this is that, and here's my promise to you folks, I honestly believe in my heart that I can help you increase your personal sales by a minimum of 25% within the next 90 days, or I'm going to give you your money back. And I do a lot better than that. I've got Ashley dealers that have got testimonials on my website where they say they've had a 35% or more increase in sales from this simple system the first year. So we really mean business, and we believe that if you take my advice here, you're going to find that this is a lot of fun. You're going to find that it really helps you organize those unsold customers that are serious about buying and just need some good professional follow-up. Just like Grant says all the time, most of us, we intend to do a good job with follow-up. We just don't have the tools. We're not organized enough to do it. So this is really going to be, I think, great for you. Go ahead.
So one of the things that we want to make sure, because I don't think Dave is saying this, but I've said it over the last couple of days, in order for this system to be successful, right, I'm going to talk about the private mailer for a second. If we are just going into CRM, right, me and Mark tried to do this exercise. It's a pain in the butt to go through and find those leads that you've had, right, because you got to click on every individual day, right, to select this. With this program, you're not going to have to do that because they all populate on one screen, right? So how much faster is that going to be for sending the mailers? Next, and the biggest important thing is that this system, right, this follow-up process is not just meant for the customers that you've already sold, right? In order to get the increase that he is talking about, it's not based on the customers you've already sold, right? It's the customers that are in the market right now, touching and feeling the furniture, that tell you, I have to go think about it, I'm closing on my house in 2 weeks. Those are the customers that we're talking about that we need to follow up with, right? Because those are the people in the market right now that are currently actively buying, okay? So in order to have these kind of increases, we have to be putting in that data, right? Again, picking on Adam from a couple days ago, right? 15 opportunities, one sell. How many opportunities walk out the door? 14. How many of those did we capture? The answer at that point in time was 0, okay? So to get this kind of increase, we got to get 5, 6, 7 of those names to put it into the system so that those can be the people we're following up, the people that are out shopping you right now. Does that make sense? Because I don't want to not use it to its full potential. Because if we're just putting in data that's already sold, it's not going to give you that increase that he's talking about. Does that make sense? The increase is going to come from the people that you're not closing right now, that you can close, that just need a little bit more time. And your follow-up, right, will keep you top of mind so that they come back and see you. That's what we're going to win with this program. Does that make sense, Dave?
That makes perfect sense. That's exactly what we're all about.
And Eric's got a question. Quick.
In order to do that, you're going to have that on every laptop.
It is on every laptop. Yep, it is on every laptop. Very easy to access. Yep.
All right, let me just take it away, and I want to show you how this customer detail screen works and how to really maximize performance as quickly as possible. I mean, let's face it, if you're slammed with customers and you're really busy, the first thing I want to tell everybody is that you're crazy to be playing around with a computer when you've got a store full of people. So one of the things that I'm going to make sure I send you tomorrow morning is a form that you should print off so that when you're really busy and you're out on the floor and you've got a guy that hands you basic information, you want to be able to capture that so you can put it into this system when the dust settles. Again, I want to be clear, if you've got a store full of people, you're crazy to be playing around with the computer. The UpBoard goes away. If you've got 10 people on the floor and you've got 30 customers in the store, the UpBoard's done. Forget it. You're in overflow. What do you do with those unsold customer opportunities at that point? I'm going to send you a simple little sheet of paper. You put it in a clipboard. You've got 20 blank ones, so you can work all day. When you make a sale, that's a different thing. But when you've got a really solid gold opportunity that you want to follow up with because you know they're going to buy that bedroom set and they're doing the living room for the lake house and it's a great opportunity, they need a leather sectional and a bunch of other things, you're not going to close them today. They've got to bring the designer in or the missus is in by herself. You've got to get that information somehow so that you can put it into the track system. And I'm going to show you how to do that here shortly. But I want to cover what else this system does. So this is for unsold customers. So if I want to follow up with them tomorrow, I want to give them a call, I can hit this button, I can select a date and change it to any date that I want. And I want to put in, what do I need to do to turn that customer into a satisfied customer, that prospect into a satisfied customer? You know, what are we talking about? What is it, a millennial green leather sectional? And what is it? And then what is it going to take? What do I need to do to help them? And you put whatever that information is in here, okay? And you can write a book. One of the things I also think is really important one of the things we want to do is establish relationships with people so that when they buy one time, that's great. But one of the things that I think is a shame is that most people that purchase, they make a satisfactory purchase from you, don't necessarily come back to you for the second purchase. And we want to fix that. We want to follow up. This is the biggest opportunity by far in the furniture business. It comes from a friend of mine. He wrote a wonderful book called The Selling Bible. His name's John F. Lawhon. And if you take my advice in this one simple tip, there's a chance it could double your sales. Let me just show you what it is, and you be the judge. But what we want to do is when you make a sale, I think we want to follow up with those opportunities as well. Let's say it's a delivery for next week, and we want to follow up the day after delivery. So the delivery's Monday. We're going to do the follow-up call on Tuesday. And it's just, I've got a drop down here, so the less you have to type, the better. So it's just, we're going to do a follow-up call. You know, how was the delivery? And, you know, blah, 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 you know. So that's what we want to put in here. And sometimes, most of the time, they're happy. But, you know, I take it from experience. You know, I remember one time I delivered a bedroom set to someone, and at that time I wasn't doing follow-up calls. I found out later on that they were missing a piece of hardware, but they were just too busy or they never did anything about the hardware on this one little nightstand. And the customer, I finally ran into him one time, and he said, you know, that bothered me. Every time I walked into the room, that's the first thing I'd see is that little piece of hardware. Had I known it, we could just pop it in the mail, and he'd have been delighted. But it really makes a huge difference. If there's something wrong, it's an opportunity to fix it. But one of the things that we do, we give you the tools to ask these people, what's the next item you need for your home? You know, they're buying a bedroom set. They've looked at a lot of other things, and we'll just ask them, you know, Mrs. Jones, I saw you looking at a lot of other things. What's the next item you need for your home? They already paid you, so they're relaxed and comfortable, and they will tell you, you know, I need 2 leather sectionals. It's, you know, Herb's birthday is next month. July 4th is his birthday, and we want to get him a surprise, you know, blah, blah, blah. The recliners, the recliner that we use has a spring popping out, and it's driving me crazy. I'm going to come in and surprise him. So you're going to write that down. The next item he needs is leather recliners, blah, blah, blah here. What's the date we want to do on that follow-up? We want to follow up and give ourselves plenty of time for that. So I'm going to make sure I call him on the 29th. Spring popping out. Blah, blah, whatever that is. Make sure you make a note that it's a surprise. You can follow up on birthdays and all that. But with this next item needed, once I update that, it's going to remind you to follow up with that unsold customer or that next item needed customer. It's going to track how many times you do that when you make a sale. And let me tell you something, folks. If 80% of the time you have the ability to ask what the next item needed is, 40% of those people are coming back, statistically. And this will double your sales if you take advantage of this opportunity. It's huge. So if you have any questions about this, listen, also, one of the things I want you to do, I want you to have my personal cell phone number. So if one of you guys and gals has a question, I want you to go through Hector. But if he's not available, I want you to call me. My cell phone, write this down, is 713-854-7706. I'm really serious about making money for you folks. And if you haven't, I don't care if it's obviously Sunday morning, Saturday night, whatever. The psychologists say it takes 21 days to turn a skill into a habit. And we want to make this a habit. So that's how that customer detail screen works. There's a different module that everyone has access to. And what you want to do is you want to come over to Furniture Mart. You want to go to Salesperson DB. You want to make sure you select your proper store. And you want to put in your top secret password, which is your first name right now. Now, once you start to put in unsold customers, where you've got several $100,000 of unsold customers in here, you want to make sure that you've got a more encrypted username and password. So, but we're going to come in. I put in Zach, so this will be Zach's personal website. It's Zach's unsold and sold customer information. What it does is it shows you a live action shot of the UpBoard. Let me just show you how this works. So if I make a change on the UpBoard, let's say let's go ahead and finish this train. I'm going to save this opportunity. So Chris's name just moved up there. Watch this. It updates every 8 seconds, and it gives you a live, real-time shot of what's going on. So you might want to take a screen like this, Hector, and put it in the lounge or the lunch area so everybody can see where the UpBoard is. One of the things, now, I noticed that these names were all on the UpBoard. This is probably from last night. And our system's also a time clock. It gives you a lot of great information, but you want to make sure that you log out at night. But the nice thing about having this displayed in the lunchroom, or if somebody's answering the phone and I see that you've got, let's say, it's a pretty busy day, and I see Zach's on the sales floor and there's a call for him, I don't want to bother Zach. I don't want to page him for that call unless it's an emergency. So kind of a handy thing to have. Down here in customer details, I have all of the information that Zach's ever sent in on customer activity. So anything you have right here, I can export this list so that you can do automatic emailing to sold and unsold customers. There's a lot of reporting that we provide in here. Here's the performance letter that we create. The nice thing about this is that, and a lot of folks, when they make a big sale, they want to see how does it affect their actual sales activity. You go to your customer list, and this is all of your unsold customers, sold customers. You have complete control of all your activity. Let's just say, hypothetically, that you had a really bad snowstorm. The last time I was up there and visiting your store, it was 15 degrees. And there was no snow, but I'm glad I brought a sweater. But if the store gets closed and you've got an appointment with a customer, wouldn't it be nice to be able to, you're sitting there at home trying to figure out, you know, what's going on. You're able to set up appointments from your smartphone. You're able to follow up. You're able to send text through your smartphone, but your texting service is a number. What I do is I assign each of you your own personal cell phone number through Tracks. So you don't have to give the customer, this is the important thing for the ladies, you don't have to give some of those weird customers your cell phone number if you've got a big sale, but you're not sure about, you know, is this a trustworthy customer or not. Now you've got texting services through Tracks, and I think it's a lot safer that way. Let me just take this to a different level. So customer details. This, again, is where you're able to come in, and it's exactly the same board as you found on the UpBoard. So everything you want to do as far as setting up appointments for unsold customers or setting up appointments for following up with sold customers, you've got complete control of it right here. Are there any questions so far?
Anybody? You have them on the phone, so if there's a question and you're unsure, there's no such thing as a dumb one right now. No? All right, we're good, Dave. Keep going.
Okay, great. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put in an email. I don't want to use my auto service, so I'm going to put in my email here. I want to show you some of the capabilities that you have here if we set up the texting service. And what I do is I do that for free for the first month. You can have it for a couple months if you want. I just want to make sure that it does everything we want. If you've got this service open on your tablet or on your smartphone starting next week, it'll give you a little buzz like you do if you get a real text from a friend. So that if you get a text from a customer and you've got the program open, it automatically notifies you. The same thing with emails. So the problem was that without that, you didn't really know it and you couldn't respond in a timely fashion. So this will allow you to do that. Let me put my cell in here.
And Dave, the email that is set up for them is their current sales email that they already use with the company, correct?
Yes. That is correct. So, now, when I want to send an email out to someone, I come in here, and I wouldn't do this today, and what I've got is I've got some videos that I'll point you to that you all have access to on how to use the tools in the system. And I'd like to ask everyone to go through those videos, and if you have any problems or questions, how to set up the templates on these things. So, but if I want to come through, I want to set up an unsold customer letter. I've got a basic template in here. I got A's in math and science, but I got C's in English. So you need to come in here and create these templates at the store level there. You know, the real thing is, what's your mission statement? Why should customers come back in and buy from you compared to all the other competitors that they're looking at? And they're going to look at, if they don't buy from you, they're going to go to 3 or 4 more stores. They're going to go on the internet. They're going to just to make sure that they feel comfortable about the deal. And if you send them an email, sometimes, you know, it's the only follow-up they'll get from anybody, and that's what separates you from everybody else. Let me tell you another thing about this real quick. I'm able to come in here and I'm able to say, okay, once I have this set up, and Ashley has phenomenal photos of all the different things you could possibly do. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to upload pictures here. So let's just say, you know, here's an employee, and I want to upload this into my email templates. So I've got that, and I want to insert that in this email. So I can do that. In other words, the merchandise the customer just looked at, you're able to send an email out instantly. If you're really good, you can do it quick. The customer leaves, they get the email. Sometimes they get it on their phone, and they look at their phone, and they say, you know what, honey? Look at this. Look what Zach just sent us from Ashley here. You know what? This is where we want to do business. And they'll walk back in. I have it happen all the time. So it's a very powerful tool. Sometimes when you do a TO, you try to turn it and you try to close them that way. Sometimes this is as good as that. You know, I think TOs are very powerful, and I did them all the time and required it for all my stores. But you know, just being able to do this, it'll also have your logo, and then down at the bottom of this thing, the most important part of sending an email to anybody is you want to make sure it doesn't look like a sterile, generic broadcast blast, an email blast. You want to, so I would put, P.S. I really enjoyed that joke about, you know, gardening or Harley Davidson's or whatever, you know, or the fact that we went to the same high school together different years and we knew some of the same. All of us, all the top pros in this business find something in common with people most of the time. And that's really the glue that makes this all work. And if you're able to talk about, you know, something personal when you do this, not just their merchandise, it really sets you apart. And that's one of the things that you want to notate is that it's a personalized thing. Some people are so good, they might even take a photo with their smartphone of the customers and the kids climbing all over the sectional, and you say, you got to ask permission, but folks, do you mind if I take a photo of this and I'll send this to you? I've got your email, you know exactly what you're talking about. And you take a photo, you upload it to your computer, and you send that photo to them. It's powerful stuff. So let's see what else about that. I've covered templates, how to put pictures in here. I've got a video. I try to keep my training videos to 3 to 5 minutes. So I want everybody to watch that this week and just kind of have some fun with it, play around with it, try to break it, goof around. And I'm going to send this email. It'll make you do different things here. It'll the first time you do it, you're going to have to fill this out and make sure your email's there. The first time you send an email, my service makes sure you're not a hacker from China. So I verify your email address. And once you've done that, I remember who you are and you don't have to do it again. So, and then send that email out and you're done. I'm not going to send that, but that's basically how that all works. So the other thing that we do, I shouldn't have gone all the way out, darn it, is we set up a service where we do texting. So you can come in here, and it's not going to be activated until you get going, but you can send photos through your texting service. This is a telephone number that's assigned to each one of you, and very easy to use, just like you're texting now. And next week I'll have it set up so that it automatically will buzz your phone if you have this app open. If you don't have the app open, it won't do anything. Won't bother you at all.
Hey, Dave.
Go ahead.
Question came up yesterday. Is there an actual app for your service?
Yes, and I'm refining it right now. I'm redoing it. I've had the same app for about 20 years. So we are redoing that app. But you just go to etracksales.com on your phone or your tablet, and it does all these services. The app will also do that, but let's not use that app until I get the thing rebuilt.
Will you have that app? Because that'll be a lot easier just to use, period.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. And that's been a top priority on my list for the last 6 months, and they're really close to having that done. So, but that's a nice service there. Folks, that's really it. Now, when you're wanting to find out what's next, you go to help, you go to UpBoard training, and this is everything that you could possibly want to know about the system. I've written a couple books here. One of the things we do if you go to this green link is, nobody laugh, that's me. So, but it shows you, this is the basics on how to use the UpBoard and how to train a new employee to use the UpBoard. So Hector, you just sit down a new employee in front of the computer, you push that button, you go get yourself a cup of coffee, and by the time you come back, they're trained. This covers a lot more of the details on how to use things, how to use the Salesperson DB module. This is really important, I think, for everybody to watch. So everybody there, if you can watch number 2 sometime throughout the day, and you can get to this through your smartphone and maybe just listen to it on the way home. Don't view any videos driving. I don't want to be responsible for any accidents. Please be careful. But, you know, I enjoy listening to programs when I drive, so that might be nice. So you go in there, and that's where you'd have access to that. And let's just see. I wanted to show you also, you can get to that from the UpBoard as well. So that UpBoard screen that you have right there, if you go to Getting Started Basics, that should also say Help, but it's Getting Started Basics. It'll take you to the same exact screen, and you can watch my videos. You got speakers. And I've got some more in-depth articles, but the videos really are the way to start. And if you go through all my videos, it'll take you 1 hour to go through all of them. You'll be an expert, and then if you have any questions, you know, we are really on a whole different level. So I think I've covered everything. If we can get that done, I know you're getting ready for a busy day, and you've probably got some customers looking in the windows. What questions do you have?
Adam, Bree?
This system is going to be on every laptop?
Yes, you have access to it because it's all just an internet link. So if it's, I know I saved it on most of them. If there's one that I missed, I can save it on there. But
will we be able to log in? I mean, move from on the floor to the deck?
No.
That'll still
that
be
only has the computer there. Yep.
Okay.
All you have control of is adding customer details, altering customer information, stuff like that. But you can't take someone off and put them on.
Yeah.
Yep. Dave, are you rolling out that contest?
Ask me again?
Are you rolling out that contest today?
Yes, I am. That was my next subject.
So that's subject. Get motivated with green stuff.
Yeah, so what we want to do, I've got a nice contest for everyone that I'm sponsoring. It's $500. So the employee that has, and let me just show you something from your UpBoard reports here. I've got a simple report here I call the Iggy report. And what this report does is it shows me the activity. Here's the thing. I know that when you make a sale, you enter the customer's information into your point of sale, so I don't have to worry about it. I know you got it when you make a sale. You get it 99% of the time. What this report shows me is how many times did you get quality information if you did not make a sale. So, in other words, let me just kind of show you what we've got here. So the total for the whole showroom for the month of June, you had 562 opportunities that you entered into the system. You sold 141, so your conversion ratio or closing ratio is 25%. So your unsold closing ratio is 75%. Now, of that 75% or 421 people, how many times did you get a phone number? That's key. How many times did you get an address? How many times did you get an email? How many times did you get everything? Most importantly to me, and this is maybe a secondary contest later on, but most importantly is how many times did you get a next item needed if you made a sale? Hector, this should be the top priority, although let's walk before we run. But anybody that's got next item needed of over 70% is going to be a superstar. Here's the thing I'd like everyone to use their imagination for just a minute. Imagine being so busy with appointments throughout the day that you're too busy to take ups from the UpBoard. Imagine having your business set up where you have so many customers coming in and asking for you. That's what John Lawhon discovered. He wrote this book called The Selling Bible. It's out of print now. It's hard to find. But if you can, it's a great, great read. But before he wrote his book, he went out and he interviewed a couple thousand top salespeople around the world before he wrote his book. He wrote one book called Selling Retail. The second book called The Selling Bible is a brilliant book. And what he discovered was one common denominator, and that was this simple thing, where the top salespeople, the multi-million-dollar salespeople in the furniture business, without exception, they had phenomenal presentation skills. They knew their product better than the owners did. They were phenomenal salespeople in their own right. But without exception, they asked customers, what's the next item you need for their home? And that's where this idea came from. That's why I give John Lawhon full credit for this. I mean, Grant Cardone has got some incredible programs out there. He is, as a matter of fact, I've got his socks. I wear his 10X socks. I love the guy. But this tip from John Lawhon is specifically designed for the furniture business, and it's a brilliant idea. And I give you the tools to know if you're doing it well or not. And this could double your sales. So, but what we're going to focus on, and the minimum has to be 40%. I'm going to focus on this both collected number right here. I'm sorry, I'm going to focus on the all collected number. Both collected is just the phone number and the address. I like to make sure I do emails too. So I'm going to try to go after the all collected. And what we want to do is we want to get a minimum of 40%. And I've got sales folks out there that do it to 70 or 80%, but I want to start, I'm going to walk before we run. And that's the goal. So the top salesperson for the next 21 days, now really, we probably want to set this off so there's a clear-cut date range on this. So Hector, I'm going to let you decide what the date range is. If you just want to make it from now till the end of the month, I'm okay with that. Maybe that's the way to go. But from today through, Hector, what do you think? Is that okay?
I think this is a good 30-day contest, Dave.
Okay. That's whatever you decide. That way we really ensure everybody's up to speed. So first place is $250. Second place is $150, and third place is $100. And then, of course, if we hit the goal, then Hector and the sales manager, assistant manager, are also going to get a bonus. So I'm pretty excited about my relationship with you folks. I know we can kick some real butt here. I know we can, if we just do the basic fundamentals of getting that unsold customer's information. And I know you know how to do that. If we get that into tracks, this will be great. I do want to show you one last thing, and then let's wrap up, okay? So if you go into, you've all got many unsold customers. Let me go back into Zach.
Don't pay attention to the name.
Yeah. So
He's
You're right, he does have many.
Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to go into, by the way, you've got the daily to-do list. This will automatically email everyone. If you promise a customer you're going to do something next week or 6 months from now, I'm going to send you an automatic email on that day to remind you, hey, you told this customer you're going to do this, or this customer's coming in today at 3 o'clock, be ready because she needs swatches for this, that, or she's looking at bun feet on this or that, right? You go to customer or salesperson reports, and you go to customer details, okay? There's a link in there called non-opportunity leads, and there's a little submit button, and if you open that, it'll allow you to enter the customer's name, address, phone number, so it goes into the track system, but it doesn't count as an opportunity against you. So it also protects you if you, you talk to somebody on the phone and they're going to come in and ask for you, that kind of thing. So there are a lot of tools in here. Let's go through the videos. It's been 45 minutes since we started. I'm going to wrap up now. And listen, I just want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity to work with your great company. And I know together we could do some great things. So, any questions?
Nope.
Any questions about the contest? It's $250 for the top, $150 for second place, $100 for third place. And Hector will schedule the actual dates, and let's create an email on that so we're all on the same page. And Hector, I'll hand it over to you.
I appreciate it, Dave. You have a great day. Now make sure you get to your gym on time.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Don't hesitate to call me if you have a question. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.